Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. Carter alerts Liam to Steffi's homecoming news. Thomas's mission. While Thomas Forrester completes a crucial mission, there will be some Steffi Forrester homecoming news, according to the bold and the beautiful spoilers for the week of September 1st to 5th. As they engage in a feud over Hope Logan, Carter Walton will also issue a warning to Liam Spencer. Ivy Forrester will encourage Hope to return to Liam now that she is aware of his desire for a Hope reunion. Ivy may have a suspicion that Hope will be happier with Liam than she will with Carter, and she wants Liam to be happy. Regarding Carter, he would want to clarify with Liam his feelings for Hope and his expectations. Carter will express his sincere desire to marry Hope and his seriousness about their future together. Although he doesn't doubt Carter's dedication and believes that he is a nice man, Liam can't deny his feelings for Hope. Liam has a great chance to win Hope back because she and Carter haven't finalized their marriage yet. Carter has warned him to keep his relationship with Hope safe, but he can't stop Liam from moving further with her. Hope will be profoundly impacted by the upcoming family time with Liam and Beth Spencer. According to other B&B spoilers, Taylor Hayes will be ecstatic when Thomas shows up in her office because he is returning to Los Angeles. Thomas will be on a quest to ensure that Taylor's wedding to Ridge Forrester goes off without a hitch during their catch-up session. Thomas will corner Brooke Logan at Forrester and pressure her to stay out of the way since he believes she poses the greatest threat to Ridge and Taylor's future together. According to Thomas, this will be Taylor and Ridge's opportunity to spend a happy life together, but he won't be aware that Ridge is already yearning for Brooke once more. In the upcoming episodes, Ridge's genuine feelings for Brooke will only grow stronger and become more intense. Ridge and Taylor will continue to plan their wedding for the time being, though. Steffi returning home to attend that event in the future will be discussed. But will this wedding actually take place? In regards to Luna Nozawa, she will focus on a pregnancy test in the hopes that it will reveal that she is expecting a little Spencer miracle. Will Luna become the mother of Will Spencer's child? Will and Electra Forrester will enjoy the afterglow after they take the next step in the bedroom. Unfortunately, Will be preoccupied with the mystery woman and the truth he's holding from Electra, which will prevent him from enjoying this to the fullest. Sheila's moral dilemma. Ivy and Hope bond and Thomas's return. According to previews for Monday, September 1st, 2025, The Bold and the Beautiful, there will be some surprises. Thomas Forrester is back, for starters. Ivy Forrester is candid with Hope Logan in the meantime. Let's discuss what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. The wedding planning of Taylor Hayes. First up is Taylor Hayes, who has been occupied with organizing her nuptials with Ridge Forrester. She interrupted Ridge's attempt to explain what had transpired in Italy by raving about the wedding. Taylor then said that she would not remove her engagement ring. See what transpired in the most recent B&B episode by reading this. Before Brooke Logan makes another move on Ridge, Taylor has been occupied with preparations and planning. Return of Thomas Forrester. The weekly teaser clip confirms that Thomas returns to Los Angeles at last. We do not yet have a certain date, though. Thomas will be delighted to see his mother again when he returns. He then declares that he is returning for his parents' nuptials. Brooke Logan issued a warning. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Thomas will warn Brooke. Brooke is approached by Thomas while Katie Logan watches and listens. The blonde is advised by the designer to never again stand in Ridge and Taylor's way. She tells Hope how much Liam loves her over with Ivy. She might get even more conflicted about the two men in her life as a result. The moral conundrum of Sheila Carter Sharp. We ought to see more of Sheila Carter Sharp as well. The waitress finds Luna Nozawa's behavior appalling. Sheila continues to provide the young woman with information that makes her desire to flee at the same time. Before Sheila entered, Luna could already be seen counting down. This implies that she is always aware of the exact amount of time she has left before Sheila comes back. That is a clear indication that Luna will sneak out once more. Read this. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Ivy Forrester's romance is on the way. Electra Forrester and Will Spencer's special evening. The events of Will Spencer and Electra Forrester's special night may also be seen by fans. Because Electra wants everything to be flawless, the opposite will occur. Will Will's flashbacks reappear as the worst time ever, or will Luna crash the guest house? Will May find it difficult to forget over the mystery girl, despite Katie's advice to the contrary? Particularly because Luna is adamant about obtaining the man she desires. Luna seems to be pregnant a little too soon. Their magical night was just a few days ago. Let's wait and see what occurs next. When Thomas returns, he is thinking about getting married, and Hope's choice becomes much more difficult. Ivy had hoped she had a chance with Liam, but when the Spencer heir made it plain that Hope was the one for him and that he wanted to bring his family back together, she was shot down. Carter was pressuring Hope to marry as soon as possible. But even Tiny Beth was trying to encourage her mom to spend more time with her dad. Why are you so demanding? Perhaps because he is aware that Hope has previously changed her mind about who she wants to be with? Coming up, Ivy informs Hope that she is the only woman Liam loves, just in case she hasn't gotten the message yet. In the meantime, Liam keeps trying to get his family back together. Is he able to regain Hope? But there might be an issue for Liam and Hope, and his name is Thomas. He is indeed back in town, and Taylor is ecstatic. Conversely, Brooke is not thrilled to see her ex-stepson. As he has done numerous times before, Thomas makes it apparent to Brooke, saying, "Don't ruin my mom and Dad's wedding." Thomas's song and dance on this subject is nothing new to us. What we want to know is how Hope, Liam, and Carter will respond to Thomas's return. What man is Hope going to pick? The Bold and the Beautiful was set to ignite another powder keg of secrets, betrayals, and yearning hearts as the week of September 1st to 5th unfolded, like a sprawling tapestry of intersecting fates. With the promise of Steffi Forrester's long-anticipated homecoming sending ripples of tension across Los Angeles, while Thomas Forrester carried out a mission that he believed was both righteous and necessary. A mission to ensure that his mother, Taylor Hayes, would finally secure her happily ever after. With Ridge Forrester, even as Ridge's heart was beginning to drift like a restless tide back toward Brooke Logan's shores, and in the shadows of Forrester Creations' grand halls, Carter Walton squared his broad shoulders and warned Liam Spencer in no uncertain terms that Hope Logan's heart was not a prize to be reclaimed without consequence, setting the stage for a battle of ideals, history, and raw desire that would entangle not just the two men, but the woman who had long been caught between. Their gravitational pull, as Ivy Forrester, ever the watchful schemer with a hint of mischief in her sapphire eyes, took it upon herself to give Hope a gentle but strategic nudge in Liam's direction, convinced that the tapestry of fate had always woven them together more seamlessly than Hope and Carter ever could be. For though Carter had been devoted, patient, and earnest, his desire to lock Hope into marriage with almost unseemly haste betrayed an insecurity that Ivy sensed, whispering to Hope over late-night tea that love could not be rushed, that Beth Spencer deserved her parents united, that the world was giving her a chance to rewrite the ending that had broken so many hearts before, and Hope, sitting in her quiet cabin, watching Beth draw pictures of a happy family with Mommy and Daddy holding hands, felt the gnawing pull of a love she had tried to bury beneath sensible choices. But love, especially in Los Angeles, had a way of clawing back to the surface, just when vows were about to be spoken, and meanwhile Thomas was boarding his flight from Paris. Determination in his chest, a velvet box in his luggage meant not for a proposal of his own, but as a symbol of the unity he believed he was coming home to celebrate, the wedding of his parents that he had long imagined as the restoration of their fractured family, yet unaware that Ridge, despite publicly embracing Taylor's plans, was haunted at night by the memory of Brooke's near-tragic fall in Italy, the way his arms had instinctively wrapped around her, the way her eyes had searched his with a depth of history Taylor could never quite match, and back in L.A., Taylor decorated her office with swatches of ivory silk and pale roses, determined to push forward before Brooke could sink her claws in again, even as Katie Logan, ever the voice of reason, warned her sister that Ridge's heart could not be scheduled like a board meeting. But Brooke, torn between dignity and desire, remained. Conflicted, should she fight for her destiny or step aside for peace? While across town, a far more scandalous storm brewed as Luna Nozoa clutched a pregnancy test in trembling hands, praying or perhaps plotting for the line that would confirm she carried a Spencer miracle, a child that could bind her to a Spencer forever, even as will lay in bed with Electra Forrester, trying to savor their special night, yet haunted by flashes of the mysterious woman who had already marked his heart with secrets he dared not share, secrets that Sheila Carter Sharp, now torn between her newfound conscience and old instincts, had hinted at over and over, whispering warnings that came too late, for Luna was determined and calculating, counting the seconds until Sheila's back was turned, already plotting her next midnight escape, her next manipulation, her next foothold in a dynasty that did not yet realize how deeply her roots had sunk. And as the night skies of Los Angeles glowed with the promise of collisions to come, Carter found Liam in the Forrester design room and laid down his heart in simple, earnest terms. He loved Hope, he would marry her, he would not stand by while Liam waltzed back in and played hero after years of indecision. But Liam, though respectful, felt the fire of a man reclaiming what he believed had always been his, and their words, though polite on the surface, carried the weight of swords unsheathed, for Hope, for Beth, for the chance to rewrite history. And as Beth ran into Liam's arms the next day for a scheduled afternoon of family time, Hope saw the joy in her daughter's eyes and the question unspoken. "Why can't we just be like this forever?" And her heart cracked a little more, torn between the safe harbor of Carter and the tempestuous but undeniable bond with Liam, while Thomas, freshly arrived, strode through the Forrester corridors like a knight on a mission, cornering Brooke with all the fervor of a son protecting his mother's dream, warning her in front of Katie that she would not, must not, could not come between Ridge and Taylor again, his words like iron gates closing on her path. Yet in that very moment Ridge was upstairs, staring at an old photograph of Brooke and whispering her name like a confession, and Steffi Forrester, still abroad, received the call that would change everything. Her family wanted her home for the wedding, for the unity, for the spectacle, and she, torn by memories of Liam's near-death fins, devotion, and her own complicated role in the endless merry-go-round of hearts, hesitated, knowing that homecoming meant reopening every wound she had carefully bandaged. And the city hummed with anticipation as alliances were drawn, secrets thickened, and a simple week in September threatened to rewrite the entire legacy of the Forresters, the Spencers and the Logans in one sweeping storm of love, lies, and the dangerous hope that maybe, just maybe, happily ever after was still within reach if only they could survive each other. Even the brightest dawn could not conceal the simmering storm that Forrester Creations woke up to as the sun barely crested over the horizon of Los Angeles. For behind every carefully steamed dress, every polished smile, and every whispered conversation in the corridor, loyalties were shifting like sand beneath an unstable cliff, ready to collapse at the first hard wave. And that wave was coming in the form of Steffi Forrester's impending return. Liam Spencer was the only one who remembered the last time he held her hand in a hospital room, the promises he made as she teetered between life and death, the way her breath slowed against his palm, and the feeling that if he had been enough, she might have chosen him and avoided the chaos that followed. Word of her homecoming spread like smoke through the fashion house, sending ripples through everyone's hearts with unresolved business. However, the tension that had been subtly building between them eventually burst into a brace of words as Carter Walton's booming voice pierced the design room, reminding Liam that Hope, not Steffi, was his present. "Liam, I adore Hope," with a low tone comparable to a man asserting his claim and eyes flashing with something more profound than jealousy. "Fear," Carter declared. "I intend to marry her, not out of rage." Fear that Liam had always had Hope's heart in his hands. She is entitled to stability. She needs a man who doesn't turn around every time the tide turns. Liam nodded courteously, but his inner tempest raged inside him. How could Carter say that love was a business matter that needed to be controlled? The young child had been pulling at Liam's sleeve for weeks, asking when Mommy and Daddy would quit acting. So how could he use Beth's future as leverage? Ivy Forrester gave herself a knowing smile as she observed from the hallway shadows. Her plan was already in motion. By reminding Hope of the way Liam looked at her, the way their laughter used to fill the cabin, and the way their daughter already pretended that the reunion was inevitable, Ivy skillfully fanned the embers of Hope's confidence about Carter's pressure and her own doubts. Ivy had remarked the night before, "Don't rush into something because you're afraid to feel what's real," which kept Hope up as Carter texted her potential wedding locations. As Thomas Forrester's jet sliced through the air, his thoughts practiced every line he would say to Brooke Logan as soon as his feet reached the airport. He could practically hear himself repeating, "Not this time, Brooke," as he pictured her standing next to the picture of Stephanie, that omnipresent specter of judgment. My mom has endured enough hardship. But the irony gnawed at him. Even as he planned to prevent his parents from getting married, he felt that Ridge's heart was already betraying their cause. Ridge is now hers, not yours. The previous night, Ridge was awake, his fingers following the outline of Brooke's picture. The memory of Italy, her almost falling into the turbulent waters, the taste of her fright on his lips as he caught her. Repeating repeatedly like a tune he couldn't stop. Whether blissfully ignorant or purposefully blind, Taylor used silver ribbons and ivory roses to adorn her workplace. She also called caterers, laughed with Steffi on the phone, and said, "Come home soon, sweetheart. We'll all be a family once more." Steffi, in her Swiss Alps villa, was hesitant, although the thought of homecoming seemed comforting. She was aware that Los Angeles was never truly home. It was a battleground where Sheila Carter lurked with crocodile tears and promises of reform. Finn's patience strained at the edges, and Liam's gaze tracked her every step. Speaking of Sheila, the self-described reformed woman, who is currently using her gun-wielding hands to wipe tables at Aiel Giardino, she was caught in a moral bind as Luna Nozoa hung over her life like a vulture dressed as a lamb. Before, Luna had slipped through her fingers, leaving with secrets and coming back with plans. Now, she was standing in a rented room's bathroom stall, looking down at a pregnancy test that might either make or break her future. She whispered, "Come on, give me the tie I need." Instead of praying to a god, she was negotiating with fate, the Spencer name, and the opportunity to bind herself to riches and power through the one man too young and confused to recognize the trap. Well, Spencer, who at that very moment lay next to Electra Forrester in a tangled sheet of regret, his mind replaying the moment Luna's lips touched him, the night that shouldn't have happened, and the secret that tore at him like a moth in fine silk. Unaware of the phantom between them, Electra ran her finger up his chest while whispering ideas for the future. When the clock struck noon, Thomas Forrester returned through the huge doors of Forrester, his arms spread wide, his smile disarming, his mission already underway. After locating his mother and giving her a hug that exuded jet fuel and unwavering devotion, he marched down the hallway in search of Brooke, whom he eventually located. With his voice echoing over the marble floor, he declared, "I'm back, and this wedding is too." Katie Logan, who was standing close by, arched an eyebrow but remained silent, sensing the impending tempest. "Don't even consider stopping it." With pursed lips, Brooke looked him in the eye with a composure that only years of combat could impart. "I don't want to harm your mother, Thomas." Although she spoke softly, Thomas took her words as a threat. "But Ridge's heart, it isn't mine to change." Each player then started to fit together like a set of dominoes. Carter secretly scheduled a ring fitting. Liam organized a weekend stay at the cabin with Beth and Hope. Ivy accidentally sent old family photos to Hope's phone. Steffi purchased a ticket she wasn't sure she would use. Ridge avoided calls he should have taken. Taylor drafted vows she might never say, and Luna waiting for a pink line that might make her untouchable.